happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. Now you guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely gonna want to check this one out, as it looks like old Elon Musk was right all along. So we now have 4 USAID officials pleading guilty to a $550 million bribery scheme, guys. I'm excited to get into this one, so we're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
They've already found considerable waste, fraud, and abuse, in particular within USAID. Among the things they discovered that the previous administration was spending money on were $1.5 million for advancing DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala, $6 million for tourism in Egypt, paying for, quote, hundreds of thousands of meals that went to al-Qaeda-affiliated fighters in Syria, funds for the production of opium, the primary ingredient in heroin, in Afghanistan, which chiefly benefited the Taliban, $1 million to help disabled people in Tajikistan become, quote, climate leaders, $1 million to a Hamas-linked charity, and $15 million for contraceptives and condoms in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan. You will forgive President Trump and the American people for thinking these expenditures are unnecessary and wasteful.
Look at all the fraud that he's found in this USAID. It's a disaster what the people, radical left lunatics, they have things that nobody would have even believed. The whole thing with $100 million spent on you-know-what, with money going to all sorts of groups that shouldn't deserve to get any money.
But Elon Musk's demolition project on government waste and fraud is sending some Democrats into a spiral. They are mad that Musk is making all these changes, so mad that some of them want him locked up.
We have got to tell Elon Musk, nobody elected your.
He must be made to pay. We must enforce the law.
Lock him up. Lock him up.
It is pretty clear we have to
Shut down the Senate. We are at war.
So some Democrats may think that Elon Musk is the enemy, but a lot of Americans think the biggest threat to America right now is our debt and our out-of-control spending. And they're happy to see that these cuts are being made, but clearly these cuts are a touchy subject for some Democrats.
All right, you guys, so we've all seen it, the Democrats crying and screaming in the streets, saying down with Elon and his Department of Government efficiency, but it turns out that he was on the right track all along, which we all knew. I mean, if they're screaming and hollering, they're crying about what Elon's getting done, we know that they should be investigated, if we've learned anything by now. And just the other day, we got a breaking news article coming here from the New York Post stating that USAID officials have now pleaded guilty to taking part in a $550 million bribery scheme, violating the public's trust. Oh my goodness. And I can't even say I'm surprised. It was only a matter of time before we got to the bottom of it. I mean, the way they were trying to scream and holler to keep us distracted from the crime and the corruption they were trying to cover up, it was only a matter of time till we got to the bottom of it. Let's check out what happened though. So it says a federal contracting officer and 3 businessmen pleaded guilty Thursday to participating in a $550 million bribery scheme involving the embattled U.S. Agency for International Development, also known as USAID. So it says we've got Roderick Watson here of Maryland, allegedly receiving bribes valued in excess of $1 million while working at USAID, all in exchange for using his position as a trusted overseer of taxpayer money to direct 14 prime federal contracts of 2 consulting companies, Aprio and Vistit. Watson, 57, pleaded guilty to bribery of a public official and faces up to 15 years in prison. He's scheduled to be sentenced in October. And as a part of this elaborate scheme, we got Walter Barnes, owner of Vistant, and Daryl Britt, the owner of Aprio, used Paul Young, the president of a subcontractor, used both Vistant and Aprio as middlemen to conceal some of the bribes destined for Watson, according to the Justice Department. Says the scheme dates back to 2013 when Watson, working as a USAID contracting officer, agreed to use his influence at the government agency to steer contracts to Britt's Aprio firm in exchange for bribes. Britt's company had been eligible for lucrative federal contracts as a designated socially and economically disadvantaged business by the Small Business Administration. When Aprio graduated from the SBA program, the scheme shifted and Watson began awarding prime contracts to Barnes Vistant Company and Aprio subcontractor. This happened in between 2018 and 2022, all in exchange for said bribes. The USAID official received cash, laptops, thousands of dollars in tickets to a suite at an NBA game, a country club wedding, down payments on 2 residential mortgages, cellular phones, and jobs for relatives. This all coming from the 3 businessmen as a part of the scheme. Shell companies, fake invoices, and fraudulent payroll sheets were all used to hide corruption, according to the DOJ. So it seems like they were going all out in order to carry out this elaborate scheme. So we've got Barnes, 46, Britt at the age of 64, and Young, 62, each facing a maximum of 5 years behind bars. The defendants sought to enrich themselves at the expense of the American taxpayers through bribery and fraud. Their scheme violated the public trust by corrupting the federal government's procurement process. Anybody who cares about good and effective government should be concerned about waste, fraud, and abuse in government agencies, including USAID. Those who engage in bribery schemes to exploit the U.S. Small Business Administration's vital economic programs for small businesses, whether individual or corporations acting through them, will be held accountable. Billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk made USAID one of his first targets for sweeping cuts when he led the Trump administration's Department of Government Efficiency. In February, President Trump declared that USAID spending was mostly corrupt or ridiculous, adding the whole thing is fraud. Elon Musk has also alleged that the agency is being run like a criminal organization by a viper's nest of radical left Marxists who hate America. Doge slashed more than $8 billion in funding and fired nearly all USAID employees and contractors as part of its effort to dismantle the agency. Wow, talk about a bombshell scheme. Scandal that these freaking dams are trying to pull off, and the whole time saying that they're not corrupt. There's nothing funny or no investigations needed. Turns out it's the complete opposite. Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness. What did we say? I've been saying this for so long. Those folks who are screaming and hollering the loudest need to be investigated, paid the most close attention to, because guess what? They're probably doing something illegal behind the scenes. And what do you know? USAID officials, 4 different officials, pleaded guilty to a $550 million bribery scheme. Can't even say I'm surprised, because those loonies on the left, they were trying to come after Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency efforts every step of the way, saying that what Elon Musk was doing was unconstitutional. It wasn't right. They were saying down with Elon Musk. Maxine Waters right here saying throw him in jail. I'm definitely glad to see that these folks are finally being held accountable for their crime, corruption within their governmental positions. And this is just the beginning. We know Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency, they sniffed out a tons of waste, fraud, and abuse within our federal government. And now it's time for those folks to pay the piper, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section. No comments are open. I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking about this one. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one week.